G'day everybody, how you doing? It's Andy here again with my dear friend Doug Kenny and my client of over, must be nearly 6.5 years now. We've been missing in action for a while with our coffee and conversation. We've just had a lot going on with other areas of our work we do together, so we're back here, and our first little chit chat today is going to be with Doug and his journey from when we first met, prior to that, and where he is now. Now, I know we've done these conversations before, but things are really moving forward really, really quickly for Doug. So we thought it's time to inspire others with Doug's journey. And that's what our Relentless and Unstoppable series is about on YouTube, and our Coffee and Conversation, which is a little more relaxed. So Doug, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing really fabulous. I hope you don't mind, but I got excited and drank my coffee early.
That's cool, mate. And look, you might notice that background there. That's my next intensive I'm running with the actors on Zoom. This is the third one I've run in 2 months. Good little class. It's very similar to how you and me have coached, like very intense, creating new habits and really pushing people out of their comfort zone. So that's a little bit of an advert for me. If anyone wants to check it out, they can see the link that Doug will post here at the end of our session today.
Yeah, everybody, I highly recommend the Actors Intensive because it could be an experience that changes your life, just like how Andy and my coaching transformed my life.
Yeah, and look, Doug, let's go back and let's be really brief. Like, let's talk about right now. What have you been up to, say, in the last month? Like talking about your businesses you've created, because having high functioning autism is not a disability at all. It's a stigma around a name, like a lot of these things are. You're a very intelligent man. You're very creative, but it's a little difficult sometimes to get into the general population of workforce. Now, a lot of people with autism do work in the workforce. They have amazing jobs, but sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle, right, to be around people. But you're getting there, right? You're starting to really be way more socially aware now, like you're mixing with your business. So eventually, we talked about you being in the workforce, but I don't think that's going to happen now, because you're starting to create work at home. So can you just let everybody know what you've been up to in the last month or so with the businesses you've created at home?
Yeah, where do I begin? It could be a pretty big book unto itself.
I know, right? And we are writing a book about it, so that'll be something we'll talk about a bit later in this, yeah.
Yeah, so to tell you a little bit of what I've been up to the past month or so, I had a birthday recently, and I didn't get a whole lot of presents on my birthday, but honestly, no gift that I ever have could compare to how I've transformed in the past year. Like, that's probably the best gift I could have ever gotten. For those who don't know, and Andy knows about it, but I recently started a business called didnt, which is Doug's Dollar Designs, where I create content for people for social media. I market their YouTube, and I even have built followers for some YouTube channels that I'm connected to. And I've built a website for it that is almost up and running, but it's the greatest website I've ever created. Earlier this year, I created a website for the Spark platform where I'm a team leader. And that was
Hey Doug, can we just jump in a bit and explain what Spark is about so viewers know? Spark was created out of my participation with Landmark. I'm an introduction leader there, and one of the programs is Self-Expression and Leadership Program, and it's where everybody gets to create their own social media platform, what they're passionate about. It could be any area of your life. And those in Australia will know a big non-profit called Are You OK Day, which is supporting mental health and suicide awareness and prevention. that was created out of this program. And this is an international, program that can be done anywhere in the world. So I created, my passion is coaching and mentoring. So we created a platform called Spark, which is for people with, we say, abilities, not disabilities, to share their creative talents, their breakthroughs. And Doug, part of the program is to hand leadership over to someone. So what better person was Doug to be a team leader? And he's done an incredible job connecting up with people internationally who are part of the team. So, yeah, that's just a little bit about Spark, and we'll have the link there where people can go and visit the Spark platform as well.
Yeah, and being able to create the website was a milestone for me, because I previously created a website for myself that didn't turn out like I expected, because I didn't step out of my comfort zone and take a whole lot of effort to make the website effectively. The Spark one and my business one for DDD, on the other hand, they were more professionally done, to the point that they looked good. And
what's DDD, Doug? Let everyone know what DDD is.
It's Doug's Dollar Designs, the business I mentioned that we started together. And I've already gotten some clients for it that I'm doing social media work for. And I earned my first paycheck last month, which was a milestone for me. And yeah, I really could not have imagined 10 years ago that I would be where I am now.
And Doug, look, you've done an amazing job, right? And, just to recap a little bit, back in when you first went to school, can you just give us a little bit of a snapshot, very briefly, about what it was like when you got excited to go to school, and then things sort of went a little bit downhill and then up and down through your whole journey as a teenager? Just a bit of a snapshot for everyone.
Yeah, when I went to school at Estes Park Primary School, which was the elementary school, I was excited going to kindergarten for the first time with my older brother. And I went to hang out with a bunch of kids in the gymnasium where everybody hung out before school. And the way I acted during the day seemed normal to me at the time. But when I came back from school, however, the next thing I know, I was told by mom and dad and by the teachers that I had to take the next day off because of certain things that happened during the day.
Yeah, and that turned out that you had no idea what they were talking about. But as time went on, I think it was years and years later where you were told that you had autism, but you didn't realize you were different from anybody else. And that was a bit of a stressful thing for you growing up, right? Until you realized, what it was. Is correct?
That is correct, yes. And when I realized I had autism, which I was told for the first time in early 2008, I finally understood why now, but I also got depressed because compared to other people, I felt like a failure. And I drowned a lot of my sorrows into sweets and sugar, and over the next decade or so, I gained a lot of weight.
Yeah, I think you actually got to 300 plus pounds, right?
That is correct. And even when I was younger, however, like when I was 10 to 12 years old, I was overweight for my age. I weighed 215 pounds, but it was pretty clear from my size that I was really fat. You probably saw on my Facebook, but I recently discovered a picture from years ago when I was gaining weight, where I was at the pool. And when you look at that photo, I was really embarrassed about my weight, to the point that I had an uncomfortable look and my arm was covering my chest because I was so embarrassed about being fat. And this would go on for the next 5 or 6 years until I first connected with you. And by then I weighed 300 plus pounds, which I was on the track to getting diabetes and ultimately a heart attack. And your coaching transformed my life. And now,
and look, Doug, can I just jump in there and sorry, but what Doug said I transformed his life. I actually didn't. Doug transformed it. All I do is said, stop it. Stop drinking those drinks. And you know what? The old saying, you can take a horse to water, you can't make it drink. What I've learned with my coaching over the last 20 years, which I developed from my acting career of 30 years, I've learned that you can coach people, but you can't make them do something. You just suggest and coach and give examples. You get the award, Doug, as many other people do, have transformed their lives by taking on the action and doing it. And it's not easy. Like to give up soda, and you had a picture there of you tipping a soda drink down the sink. And since then, Doug has cleaned his diet up. We're actually writing a book about Doug's journey of weight loss, transformation, dealing with autism, and it's a great story. And Doug actually is he's killing it with his fitness. He's doing yoga. I suggested do yoga, home body weight exercises, and he's riding a bike and hiking. He is now doing yoga, 4 or 5 times a week. He just completed a 5-mile run and got an award for that. He walks, he hikes, he bike rides. He's actually blowing me away, because now I look at myself and go, didn't go to the gym for the last 2 days. So you're an inspiration to myself, Doug, as well.
I really
and many other people.
I really appreciate it, man. It means a lot to hear that. And, I'm really proud of the decisions I've made. I'm really surprised, though, that all it took was you just telling me don't do it. It's like, why didn't we do this 10 years ago?
Yeah. And look, we're human beings. We all make choices, and we get wound up in the stories of growing up and what we're educated on, the knowledge we have. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do something, let's talk about health and fitness. We all know you can know exactly what to do to lose weight, but we don't necessarily do it. Or you might do it for a week or 2 weeks or a month, and then we stop. That's okay. We're humans, right? We do this because life takes over. But if you really want to do something, to have support around you, find a group of people who are on the same track, and that way you get to carry through your dream. And it's difficult. It's difficult to get up and say, well, I'm not going to eat that today. I'm not eating any junk food for 6 days, and one day I'll have a little bit of junk food. It's not easy to get out of bed at 6 a.m. and go for a 3-mile walk or get on a bike. Yeah, it's not easy. Nothing is when you're going through transformation. But if you keep at it, you become an inspiration for everybody that sees your story, Doug. And we've already had proof of that. People who've taken on their life saying, wow, I saw what you did, Doug. Now I'm taking on my world of better eating and better health. So, seriously, man, you're a big inspiration to many people,
Yeah, and that's my goal. I want to inspire others to pursue a healthier path. Like, I am so outspoken in health and fitness that I'm a person who's willing to do anything to help someone have the same healthy life. Because if you want to be mentally better and physically better, you have to have a good diet. You have to put the right foods in your body. Like, you shouldn't have junk food. There's always alternative options to junk food. Like, instead of an orange milkshake, try orange juice with a little bit of cream. Or, or even better, try beets instead of sugar. You know what I mean? Because sugars have organic, beets have organic sugar in them.
Yeah, and we thank Kit Dale, who's a great friend of mine. I'm based in Los Angeles, you're in Arizona, and Kit Dale is a 2 times world champion jiu-jitsu player, and he's right into health and fitness. If you go to Kit's Instagram page, you'll see what an incredible looking body he has, but he boxes, he's training for competitions, but also he sent Doug a complimentary book on diet, which Doug, uses bits and pieces out of that and bits of his own ideas. So it's been a huge help. So, and Doug will put up Kit's information there for Instagram. But look, Doug, I just want to recap where you are now. So where you are now is you're under 200 pounds. You have physical activity every day. You have a set schedule where you're the host of our Relentless and Unstoppable series, where we interview amazing people from around the world sharing their journeys of their life circumstances and how they created what they wanted. You're the team leader of Spark. You also have created your own business at home now, Doug's Dollar Design. We're also got a couple of other things in the pipeline, which, we'll mention them a bit later on once we have them established. And basically, you are now getting emails and messages off people going, thank you for your inspiration. Thank you for sharing on Relentless and Unstoppable, the anti-bullying, because we're getting people coming on going, wow, that was, such a help. And the one thing we do is we're not here to give people diagnosis. We're here to say, look, if you really need help, then seek professional help. We're just sharing stories with people who've had breakthroughs with what they're dealing with. And as I said before, Doug, your journey is amazing, and we are going to write a book. Can you just share a little bit about what this book will be about? You've already written 8 books, but this is something totally different that you haven't tackled before.
What it's going to be is a book that documents my health and fitness. My health and fitness is only part. It's a good part, but it's only part of my journey. We're going to talk about my longtime addiction to soda and sugar that almost destroyed my health fully. And then we're also going to talk about the efforts I put to get my health back, and even the recipes that I liked or even made in my diet when I improved my diet.
Yeah, and also how you created your businesses and how you set schedules up. Because, look, we had a lot of downtime where things didn't work, and, you got frustrated, and, the autism sort of took over a little bit. But now you've got to this free point where you can see the behavior of, what the autism can cause, which is not bad, but you can hear it running the mind going, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do it. And you go, oh, hang on a minute. Slow down, Doug. That's what you say to yourself, and go, wait a minute. This is not urgent. I don't need to panic. Nothing's wrong. And now you've really got, well, I'm not going to say 100% control of that, but you have a way bigger control of that now to hear when the mind will take over a situation, correct?
That is correct. And yeah, I'm really glad that I'm in a better place with that. I have a better control to manage the emotions better. And because if you let the emotions take over, it's not healthy for your mind and the system. So you have to know when something is coming. And what I usually do nowadays is, if the emotions are taking over, I step away from the circumstance, go take a walk, practice some yoga, or I even ride a bike to maybe a coffee shop. And then when I'm ready, I continue.
Yeah. And I don't think you're drinking coffee. I think you're drinking decaf, right? Because you don't need anything to up the energy levels again.
Yeah, that's right. I do drink decaf, and I do drink sugar-free stuff. So that's really good for the diet. And I've also noticed I've gotten so better with my diet that even on my cheat days where I bike to a restaurant, I still have healthy food. Like I don't even pick unhealthy items or even desserts. I just have fruits and veggies and other things I find delicious.
Yeah. And it doesn't hurt one day a week to have a few of those bad foods sometimes, as long as you control it and don't go over the top. Now, the other thing, Doug, you're also doing a bit of online training with Jerry Trimble, who's a great friend of mine, actor in Canada. And he's also an activist for anti-bullying. So you do online boxing course with him, and we'll put his details up here so people can go and view Jerry's site. But can you tell us a little bit about how that's helping you?
It's helping me tremendously. It's helping improve my meditation, because part of his method for boxing is meditate at the end when you cool down, and that's always good for the system. All you have to do is do this and just focus on the breathing like that. And another
I thought we lost you there, mate. I thought you were going off into a meditation zone. I'd have to finish this by myself. Phew.
Yeah, I was going to abandon you because you're annoying.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, but other than that,
I'm annoying. Don't you worry about that. A lot of my clients go, oh, man, can you stop doing that? And I go, yeah, no, not really. You asked me to help you, so I'm going to boot camp you all the way to getting you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, you're like Arlie Ermy, the drill instructor.
uh,
But
yeah,
yeah,
so
that's really good.
yeah, Jerry runs a lot of these online classes, and I did some stuff with Jerry years ago in LA when he was here with the LAPD, helping watching him help young kids off the street and could end up in gangs, and they were teaching them boxing and that. And the sad part was that he said out of maybe 15 or 20 kids we helped, he said it was a really low percentage that actually stayed with us. He said because the influences from outside were really strong. He said it's such a struggle to, try and help young kids. He said, but you just don't give up. You've just got to keep going.
You should have seen when I boxed to the theme of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I've got to have a look. We'll get you to record it one day with Jerry so we can put it on here, it'll be great. Well, look, Dougie, it is time's up. This is really great. And look, really congratulations to you for, really being a stand, for yourself and, the people who've supported you and inspiration to other people. And look, invite people to come and check out Relentless and Unstoppable series on YouTube. And we'll put up all those links there for Jerry and, the other things we talked about, my intensive and Relentless. So it's been an honor to have met you, which was by accident because it was your brother I was coaching, and you just happened to say to your mum, "Oh, I wouldn't mind coaching with Andy." And this is a point I want to make before I go. When you meet people randomly in life, you're creating a dot, and my thing is, those dots will join up somewhere, and everybody you meet could possibly be someone that's going to be an influence in your life, or you're going to be an influence in theirs. So I really encourage my actors and clients to meet people and to just live life fully. Don't be scared to have a random conversation with someone, because you never know how that person may one day be of assistance to you or you be assistance to them. So we've already learned that. And Doug, honored to be your coach and mentor, because I'm actually learning off you now. So it could switch one day. Maybe you'll be my coach and I'll be going, "Oh, I don't want to do it today, Doug." And you're going, "Just do it, Andy. Just get up and do it. Get up and make your bed."
First of all, you will only speak only when spoken to.
Yeah, that's what my mum used to say. It never worked. Well, Dougie, time to go, mate. Thank you, and we'll catch up with everyone next time, and we'll have more about your book, which hopefully we will have it, in progress, and have a stronger idea of where that book's going to lead and when it'll be out. So, awesome, man. You're a champion, and honored to have met you 7 years ago. It's been a blessing.
It's been a blessing too, man. I'll always do this with you.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And thanks, Doug. Until next time, be inspired and inspire other people and be a stand for the human beings around you.
All righty, everybody. I want to thank you for tuning in to Coffee and Conversation. The links to everything we discussed are here. And we'll see you next week for the next episode of Coffee and Conversation.